Well, good morning once again. Once again, after the live stream last night, I forgot
we made that
to
recipe.
put the intro video in, and surprise, surprise, it caught me. Oh, I can do anything I want wrong today. I have immunity. I have absolute immunity from screwing up because this is my 3rd year carniversary. Yes, 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 yes. And just so I don't forget, I will set the outro video. Been up since 4:30 this morning. Those Thursday night live streams screw up my whole routine. I forgot to create this last night. I created it when I got up this morning before 5 o'clock. Forgot to reset the intro and outro videos. I'm lucky I remember my own name, but I do remember that it is today. It is this morning, Friday, August the 1st. And just so you know where you are, just so you feel welcome, there we go. Welcome to Morning Coffee, everybody. Morning Coffee with Mitch. Good to see you. Good to see you. And let's all drink it. I need it. Let's drink it because we got it. That was smooth, wasn't it? That was really smooth. So, I'm here and I'm smooth this morning. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I've been watching the chat go by. This morning, the Ricks have it. Retired Rick. Charger Mopar Rick. My God, what a conversation. What a conversation. Good for you. Good for you. Glad to see you're taking advantage of the chat room and the facility to interact with each other. And I'm looking at the chat. Okay. Can't help it. All right. I think I got everything straightened out now. I think I got my head back together. Like I was saying, today is my 3rd year carniversary. Maybe not as long as some, but I think longer than most. And been quite an accomplishment, except for the time the medical community tried to derail me and kill me in the name of healthcare. But we managed to get through that and escape, I think, unscathed. Time will tell. But I'm convinced that carnivore is the way. Totally convinced it. Going to have lunch today. Going to have lunch today with Mike Seeley, Jr. and Sr., Mike's wife, Isa, at the Estampa Gaucha Steakhouse, Brazilian Steakhouse in Melbourne. I've been talking about that. I will get there around 11:30. Probably have to park a good distance away from the door, so even though my pride will take a hit, I will, for safety's sake, use my walker to traverse the parking lot because I don't want to have any setbacks at this point. But I've been doing more and more walking without support. Still ain't pretty. I'm still shaky. And I started to work out. I started to do some work, dedicated workouts now every day using resistance bands and what equipment I have in that spare room of mine and the vibration plate. And I think that's going to help with my energy. It's going to make me feel better. I know that if I just sit around and do nothing all day, I'm really tired. If I stay active, somehow my energy meets those needs. So I've been doing that. I got, let me get this ready here. I got one little announcement tonight, and then we'll get on with it. The announcement tonight is, be there. Be there. That's the thumbnail to look for. My 3-year carniversary live stream, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, August the 1st. That picture is a picture of me when I actually, right before my stroke, got up and was speaking at the Healing Humanity and Kilts meetup down in Tampa, Florida. So I had that picture, and I said, I'm going to put that picture up there. I think it's a good one. So that's what to look for. And you will find me tonight, 7 p.m. here. I don't know how long it's going to last. We're going to have a panel. Going to publish the link for the panel. Like to see people not come in and just sit there all night, but kind of a mix of me responding to the chat, maybe answering questions, people coming in and visiting for a while, and but not just sitting there all night, because I want to see if I can't cycle a lot more people through that we don't know, that we've never seen. Get you guys to shade your inhibitions. You can't embarrass yourself in this crowd. Kathy was with us last night in the private community live stream. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. Question I see, just take a picture of your steak at lunch. I'm going to take my video camera, the 360 camera. I'm going to clamp it to the walker. When we start lunch, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to record the whole thing. Then I can go in and edit out a few pieces of it. I can look at every scene. If I want, I can find the waiter coming through the door and then follow him in and have him watch him putting meat on my plate. So I'm going to make a little film, a little video out of it, our lunch. And we're not going to have the best audio, more than likely, because I don't want to have to give everybody a microphone, but the camera will pick up pretty well. So it should be pretty interesting. So I'm going to do that. And you can get to see what it's like having an endless supply of meat constantly. And sometimes you want to say, slow down a little, guys. Slow down. Let me finish this mound of meat on my plate first before you keep piling more on top of it. They do that. They just keep coming, as if they're in a hurry to get you out of there, which I wouldn't put it past them. So I'll do that. Let's see. I had no pre-show live stream last night, mea culpa, but first one in this morning. As usual, Tuukka, way ahead of us in time over in Finland. Good morning, Tuukka. How you doing? And Sandy Blythe came in. And Donna Ray, I remember it now. Donna Ray, main runner, probably back from her run. Francine Bourgeois is here. Thank you, Francine. Mandy Beddoes and Rick chimed in from Miami. We're still at not even 7 o'clock yet. Wayne Herman chimed in, and John Smoovey, 420. Good morning, y'all. He says, Mary M is here this morning. Mike Sealy Sr., who I'll see you later today. Peter is here. Papa Carnivore and me, Cool Cat. Mike Sealy Jr., not from Tampa. He's over here somewhere, probably in Kissimmee, maybe. But I'll see him this morning. Michael Prager at about 8 o'clock. Steve Rogers, Captain America, Sandy Blythe. Loretta Nadal, good morning, darlings. Have a fabulous day. Thank you. Jeff Johnson is here, the name you know. And Thomas is with us, talking about rib. 3 years. Happy 3 years of taking back your health. They keep trying to take it back from me, but I fight them. I fight them tooth and nail. Bro, Grandma's here. How you doing? Jem is here. Hi, Jem. Thank you so much. And hang on a second. Mouse problems. I have to go to the right-handed mouse. Oh, I hope that wouldn't happen, but it did. All right, here I am. And Rick is here. Rick Charger Mopar. How you doing, Rick? Jim wishes me a happy carniversary, 3 years. Retired Rick chimed in at about time was that 8:17, and Aaron is here. Good morning, and that's not working. My right hand just isn't fast enough. Let me try to reset this thing and see if I can get it to connect. Yes, yes, yes. Technical prowess. Technical prowess in action. Okay, and where were we? Still not fast enough. I'm using the right-hand mouse. I used it to set up this thing this morning. Still not there yet, but comes in steps. But sometimes you got to just get the job done. Aaron says, remember, children, stay on topic, no chatting, spoken like a true YouTuber who has to deal with the same thing. No, it's okay if they chat. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. The only difference it makes is I'm going to search out more for the on-topic stuff and by skipping over vast amounts of chatting about unrelated subjects, I'll probably maybe miss some questions, but I have to do that. So in order to get done on time or close to it. So I don't want people to stop being friendly and stop chatting. Just understand if you asked a question and I had so much to get through, I couldn't see it. But the chatting is encouraged. It's encouraged. Said hi, retired Rick. Said hi to you. Said hi to you. We at 8:30 yet? No, Tina's here. How you doing, Tina? Good to see you this morning. And Lori Weitzel. Hiya, Lori. Good morning, all, she says. Gary's here. No, so congratulations on 3 years on Carnivore. Take the rest of the year off and eat meat. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Thank you very much. And we have Lewis. Tito is here from New York. Hiya, Lewis. How you doing? And guess what? You didn't win this morning, Lewis. I glossed straight over it. The winner this morning was Gary. And Lewis and Gary are always vying and always close. And right in between Lewis and Gary, retired Rick snuck in there. So all three of you guys pretty much at the same time at 8:30. Congratulations, Brian Dish. Good morning to you. Mr. Online. Wow. That's a new one. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Online. How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Are you a carnivore? Tell us something about yourself. Or are you one of our regulars that just changed his name? Peter's back. Good morning, everyone, he says. Kathy's back, and Brendan McIntyre is here. Welcome to August, everyone. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. First of the month, and here come the bills. But something you can count on. Hey, they just reduced taxes here in Florida this morning. I heard it on the news. Couldn't believe it. They made, and this is weird, they always have these sales tax holidays certain times of the year, and around this time of year they always have a sales tax holiday for hurricane preparedness stuff. You know, gas cans, generators, all that stuff. And this year they basically did the same thing, but they made it a permanent sales tax exemption. That means in Florida, any time of year you want to buy a generator, it will probably be untaxable. That's the first time I've ever seen them go the right way instead of adding taxes to everything. They do the same thing with school supplies. I don't know if that's going to be a permanent one, but it's interesting. It's very nice to see them say, well, okay, the state's taking enough of your money now. Let's slow down and maybe even stop on certain things. That's a very nice trend. I'd like to see that happen nationally, too. It should, the way things are going. But they'll screw it up somehow. Somehow, they'll come in, vote the wrong people in office again, and we'll be in bigger trouble the next time than this time, because I'm firmly convinced the morons are outnumbering anybody with common sense in this world anymore. So we just got to keep defending ourselves and looking out for ourselves and figuring out how to navigate the morons and the idiots out there. Probably brains are poisoned from all the crap that you're telling them to eat, and they believe it. All right, that's my little rant for this morning. Melissa B. Sir, how you doing, Melissa? Put QQQ in the chat if there's anything you want to talk about. Anything you want to talk about, and I will try to find it. I'm up to 8:31 now, so these are still early risers here. Anybody I haven't said hi to? Gina Cav, good morning. Gina Pamela Suarez is here. Good morning to you. Richard Williams from Copper Hill, Tennessee. And let's see, Brian BMAT. Good morning to you, sir. Smoothie, wish me congratulations. Thank you, John Scotter says morning meat folk. Yes. Thank you, Jem. Mitch, enjoy your lunch. You're doing great and with walking. Just take time. Love you. Thank you so much, Jem. Appreciate that. BS111 says Mitch made a good recovery and has a first down. That's about it. Not the goal line yet, but let's call it a first down. Tuca came back, said howdy, and Brazilian Odizio is the way to go for carnivore celebrations. Yes, H French 71, thank you. That restaurant has a location in Charlotte. I've been to both. They don't disappoint. That's for sure. We disappoint them because we don't eat any of the cheap stuff. We don't fill up on the salad bar and the bread first. So, we're there. Say, bring us some meat. Keep all the rest of that crap, will you? No side dishes, no nothing, just meat with a side dish of meat. But you hit a wall, unfortunately. You always do. You think, oh, I'm going to get my money's worth, and the stuff is so satisfying that pretty soon you just say, I can't eat it anymore, and you're not really stuffed. I never get stuffed at that place. I never get so full I can't move. My appetite turns off long before I get there. So in that respect, they're on the right track, I think, for making money. Abiding you. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning to you. And Ellen is here. Hi, Ellen. How are you? Good morning, Mitch. OldGuyCarnivore. Chat friends. Happy Carniversary Day. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's be. Happy Carniversary, Mitch. Enjoy your lunch today. Super Tune is back. Good morning. Good morning. I remember you from the other day. Yesterday, I think. And I try to find some new people, and then I'll start throwing 8:39. Good, I'm not falling too far behind here. It's like a morning race. Charlie Faircloth. Good morning, Charlie. How are you? Mr. Online says, hey, Mitch, do I know you? Do you know me? No questions yet? No, nothing? Trying to pick up on the topics? You are talking with each other, that's for sure. Josephine C is here. Says howdy. And here comes a question from Thomas. I just want to make sure. I found beef tallow at Walmart for $35, but then I found 4 pounds of lard for $9, which is so much better for my budget. Is lard okay? No stupid questions, but need answers. No. Yes, lard's going to be cheaper because pigs are cheaper than beef in all respects. Bacon is cheaper than equivalent in beef, and certainly pork is much cheaper than beef. So pig fat is going to be, looks like about a quarter of the price. But lard, it'll be hard to debate that, Thomas, which is healthier. Each one of them has just a different blend of all the different fats. including saturated fats. It's not just all saturated fat. Some people think they like lard better. There's a guy now I saw being interviewed was, I think by Kilts, that has a company who makes skin creams that are lard-based, not tallow-based, and claims they have many, many advantages over tallow. I think either one. You're not eating it, by the spoonful. You're using it to add to things. And I think just like we add bacon grease to things, that's lard. Bacon grease is lard. One thing about lard is it stays liquid longer. That's how you can tell the difference. Because tallow will always solidify at room temperature if it's not too cool. I mean, if it's not too warm. But you put a thing of tallow in my house, I put a thing of tallow and bacon grease out. The bacon grease will stay liquid, the tallow will solidify. So there are differences there. But I don't think so. I think, I think you'd be just as well sticking with the $9 one. That's my opinion. My opinion. I would research other people's opinions on it, and you may find, when you've done your research, that there's about a 50-50 split. And if there's a 50-50 split, that pretty well tells you that there's really no one clear winner or obvious answer, and it's just all opinions, and you'd probably be doing all right. You'd probably be doing all right either way. Either way. Thanks for asking. And phone went off, and I see a coffee there. DS111 bought me a coffee. Says apply towards another $1,700 phone. I certainly will, my friend. You got it. You got it. Thank you so much for that. And yes, I do have the phone here. Watch. Watch this. It opens up into a tablet. What do you think of that? Well, it's on the screen there. You can't see the stuff on top because it's so bright, but it does open up into a tablet, and it does fold up into basically a cell phone size, which is the first foldable that they ever made. That is probably no thicker than my old cell phone when it's folded. It's got all the best cameras and everything else. It is wonderful. And I'm going to keep it. I bought it basically to say, thinking I probably wouldn't like it because I tried to fold last year and it was so horrible and thick and unwieldy, I sent it back. But this thing, you find yourself using the cover screen. I mean, here's my old cell phone right here. They're roughly the same size. In fact, my old cell phone is a little bigger, a little wider, and weighs a little more than this foldable one. So far, so good. I'm not doing a cell phone review. Like a DS111. I am enjoying it. And I kept my old one because I fully intended. I didn't trade it in. I fully intended originally when I got it that I was going to do something about it that I didn't like. And I had to buy it twice. I bought it the first time, but then I had to decide to keep it. And that was the hard decision because that's when the price tag really sunk in. But the thing is fabulous and really helps me doing this stuff. It helps me in answering the comments and reading the comments much easier on me. I don't like to do it on a tablet because I can't have it in my pocket all the time. So this is like the best of all worlds. And I'm evidently not the only one who thinks so because Samsung is selling these things at record levels, even with the high price tag. And now, $1,700 won't get you one. $2,199 will get you one. That way you missed the pre-order. That's even crazier. They're selling them by the 100,000s. It's unbelievable. So that's the cell phone status. I allow myself very few luxuries or anything, but my fascination with the technology always keeps me being in what they call early adopter. Early adopter. I should know, I should remember a very wise man who had a saying about people who are always the pioneers, the front runners, the early adopters. And he said, Mitch, in the Old West, how could they know who the pioneers were? And the answer was, they were the ones with the flaming arrows in their wagons. That's kind of like how I am. Duca wants to know how I'm doing. I'm doing as usual. I'm doing as usual. If I was any better, well, I have a way to go. It could be better, but I always say if I was any better, it would be illegal. It'd be illegal. Yes, 111 says morons shall hurt the world. I think they already have, unfortunately. Every once in a while, we get a chance to get enough of them to stay home so they don't ruin anymore, but that only happens rarely these days. And every time we think that the smart people are back in control, the morons figure out a way to fool other morons into believing that the smart people are doing something bad and hurting them. Crazy. Looking forward to questions. CB, how you doing, CB? Good morning. It was great seeing you last night. We were in rare form last night. We had a good time. Dina Schweikerath was here showing off some of those things she crochets, some of the cutest little things you have ever seen that she makes. And just terrific. Tuka, of course, was here last night. Peter chimed in about 1 minute before I had to go away. Missed the whole thing, but that's fine. Hope we'll see all you guys again tonight. All you guys again. Rick, Peter thinks that lard tastes better than tallow. Well, I guess I kind of agree. I like frying things in lard. But if you eat a lot of bacon, Thomas, just save the bacon grease. You'll end up with more lard than you know what to do with. The thought of buying lard for me would be absurd. I got half a gallon of it sitting in the refrigerator that I'll never use probably because I generate it faster than that. And it stays good forever in the refrigerator and for probably 6 months or more if you just leave it sitting out at room temperature. Why do these things not spoil and go rancid? Like seed oils. Why? The reason why is they're saturated. That means they have every place where an oxygen molecule might bind to it and ruin it is already taken up. They have no room. That all the chemicals out there would make that thing go rancid. There's no place for them to attach. That's what a saturated fat is. You get an unsaturated fat, yes, that can go rancid in a short period of time. And most of the seed oils that you buy in the jars are probably rancid the minute you open the lid. God knows what they did to those things in the process. Francine has a question. What happened to the beautiful shirts? Oh, that was a week. I'll do it again. I don't want to let them all out of the bag right away, but we'll do it maybe 1 week a month. We'll have the tropical shirt week. But this is a great shirt that I got on today. This shirt is my original food pyramid shirt. It's not one of my shirts. It was a gift from myself, but I love it, and I'm going to wear it. I'm going to wear it to lunch today. It's appropriate, I think. I always wear one of my meat shirts when I go to a barbecue, the one that says brisketarian, because brisket never disappoints, it says. These are great shirts. People look at you like you're crazy. But you do get comments on them. You get comments, even if those comments are, "You're going to kill yourself." Marla's here. Good morning, Marla. How are you? How are you? We're talking about oils. What time am I at? I'm at 8:48. I'm about 12 minutes behind. Not too bad. Not too bad. This is a good pace. Keep this up. I get a chance to try to figure out what some of this means. Yes, Papa Carnivore, a couple years ago when I was a new carnivore and before I started accumulating bacon fat, I went into the supermarket to buy some large. It was the only that I'm missing on the shelf. Well, really, people were buying a lot of it, I guess. I guess that's the point you're trying to make. Peter loves lard. I love lard. I think that's a consensus, Thomas. I think you'd be pretty safe to do that. Tuka's worried about developing a Alabama accent because he spent so much time chatting with CB. That would that would be a very unique accent, to say the least. So Danny Boss is here. Hi, Danny. Here is Ellen with a question. When you first started carnivore, did you feel right away it was the right diet for you, or did it take some time? Well, when I first started carnivore, Ellen, it wasn't the transition that most people do, because I had been keto for a couple years. I was keto before I hurt my head. I managed to stay keto through that whole thing. I was a year of recovery. I think about it. Well, yeah, a year of recovery before I switched from keto to carnivore. And that was right about the time, 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, I had been keto. So I cut out all the mostly addictive stuff a while ago, so I didn't have to go through that. So it was simply a matter of giving up 20 grams of basically what amounted to vegetables. I had to give up the sweet stuff and the fruit anyway because that would throw me out of keto. That was the problem with it. So I was an almost carnivore 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I went full carnivore, but like I said, I was what a lot of people call dirty carnivore for 2 or 3 years before that. So no, it wasn't hard for me. I'd already mastered the carb addiction. I just had to get used to a smaller amount of variety in what I ate, which was a habit thing, not an addiction thing, and not get bored with it. And I found out I really didn't. I was afraid I might have. We're all afraid of things that we haven't experienced yet. But it was easy for me. I think it's easy to come from keto to carnivore, and I think many, many, many of the people that we have now that have come to carnivore have realized that keto is only a small step towards what Ken Berry calls the proper human diet, which is carnivore. And carnivore is a ketogenic diet anyway. So it's all in the, whoever makes the rules for these stupid names. Saw in the news this morning that the new big thing is basically adding protein to everything. Adding protein to all the junk food, all the processed food, all the ultra-processed food. Just add protein to it. Because why? Because protein satisfies your appetite so you eat less. That's the latest, greatest news on national TV from the health community, as seen on NBC this morning, NBC Morning News, local news. NBC local morning news. And I mean, they were showing This woman up there saying, showing it off, showing the products before they added the protein and after they added the protein. Here's the junk before we added the protein. Here's the junk after we added the protein. This is much better, and you won't want to eat as much of this junk. Next month, it'll be a different gimmick. When people get tired of being fed protein that isn't really protein, it's synthetic protein or plant protein or anything but what you find in a ribeye. But it sounds good. Sounds good, and we're going to market it to you. Retired Rick says, Mitch, when you edit YouTube to set up your video, just click live reactions, and that stupid heart that blocks chat will go away. Oh, you're talking about that one down at the bottom. Yeah, okay. Mine hasn't been there for a while. It went away all by itself. Maybe I clicked that thing by accident sometime. I can't stop it from getting in your browser, but that is certainly a way to stop it in your own browser. It is annoying, though, isn't it? It is annoying, but fortunately, the chats go fast enough where if you want to click on somebody's chat, it's going to be above that stupid heart in a short period of time. Okay, let's go to the next question. Here's one. How's the crease on the screen? Okay, we're into Mitch's tech support. Mitch's tech support and carnivore diet. Okay. Let's see if you can see it. It's there, but if you look straight down at it, you never notice it. The only time you notice it is if you get a reflection on the screen. There's the screen. You don't see the crease. If I turn it sideways, do you see it? There it is. Well, it's just a little bit. It's the least amount of crease on any screen, on any foldable I've ever seen. And you don't notice it unless you really kind of look at it sideways in a certain light, and the light hits it. See it? How about that? And it's 8 inches. This thing is great. And you talk about, if you got to watch YouTube or watch a video or read a book or anything like that, it becomes like a small tablet. It's the same size as an iPad mini. And this year they took the cameras, the best cameras that came in their S25 Ultra. It's got a 200 megapixel camera. It's the main camera in this thing. It's incredible. It's all you really need. It's all you really need. I wish it would do 360. I'd have it. I like to use the 360 cameras because that allows me to act like I got a cameraman when I'm editing, and you guys always seem to enjoy that. So I primarily use the 360 cameras, and now DJI has just come out with a new one, which of course I'm going to have because it does so much better than the 360 cameras that I got. But it just came out that you can't get it yet, so I'm safe for a little while. But that's what I spend my money on. Other people spend their money on vacations, spend their money on new furniture, new clothes. Not me. Cameras, cell phones, things that I can use to make my YouTube deal as good as it could possibly be without having to hire somebody to do the work for me. I'm proud of that. And I enjoy it. And if it gives you anything, it gives you a kick. Somebody tells you shouldn't spend money. You shouldn't spend money on something. They can't tell you that. It's up to you to decide what you want to spend your money on. As long as you end up head over heels in debt. Knock yourself out. Oh, here's a good question. Rick says, Foldor, how many folds between fracture? Well, Rick, they have tested these things. Samsung has machines that sit there all day and night, unfolding fold. They've tested it to 500,000 folds at this point with no effect. They're up to 500,000. They haven't had one fail yet, so we're good for 500,000 folds. Now, assuming, let's say I open and close it 20 times a day. I'm probably good to the age of about 135. So I'm not expecting the Fold to do anything because they don't fold it crisp. It's folded around a circular thing, and it's a very thin and flexible screen. They've got a film on it which really protects it for what it is. But you still have to treat it with care. I mean, this is not the kind of thing, for example, if you clean sewers for a living and your phone keeps falling out of your pocket down in the sewers, it's not the kind of phone you want to carry with you. But like me, if I don't go to, I wouldn't go take it to the beach, for example. I wouldn't want any sand getting in the folding mechanism. But it's pretty well protected, and they have cases for them. In this case that I have, has a thing on the back side that opens up. See it? And there's the hinge in there. There's the hinge right there. But this protects the hinge, protects everything. It's even thinner than this without the case on it. Plus, it's got this kickstand on it that you can fold down here. And here, let me get that off. Let me get that message out of the way. Got this kickstand on the back that you can turn around and set this thing down with however you want and move it this way and that way. It's got MagSafe in it, like the iPhones do, so you can clamp it to a magnetic holder or a magnetic charger or any MagSafe device. It's unbelievable. It's just gives me a little faith in the human race again to think that there are people smart enough to put this stuff together. Crazy. It's more powerful than my computer, that phone. Got more memory. I got 16 gigs of computer. This phone's got 12 gigs of memory, 512 gigs of storage. They have another version of it, which I have absolutely no use for, with 16 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of storage inside the phone. For God's sake, it's crazy. Okay, this from the standpoint of the first hard drive I ever bought in my life was a Radio Shack hard drive for Model 2. It was 10 megabytes. You can't even take a picture today and not have it take up 10 megabytes. It was a 10 megabyte hard drive. He carried it around in his suitcase. It cost $5,000. That shows you how far we've come. The only alternative to that, and Rick knows this stuff, was the type of hard drives they used on mainframes. Those were big disk packs and big hard drives. They were $20, $30, $50, $100,000 for those things. And today we can have a cell phone with a terabyte, a trillion bytes. Now, a trillion bytes is 8 trillion bits. Because 1 byte is 8 bits. That means there are 8 trillion different memory locations somehow inside that phone. Trillion. So when we say the human body has got over 1 trillion cells, and we say that phone's got over 8 trillion memory locations, you start to get the idea of, now that's friggin' small. And that's why this stuff fascinates me so much. And somehow, I don't care how big the hard drive I buy, I have probably 50 terabytes of storage on my network now. I'm always running out of storage because filming videos at high resolution and editing and all that just eats up incredible amounts of disk space. So, the good thing they have it, and it's not too expensive. Not too expensive. Your cell phone is so cool. I did put a link on my Amazon page, by the way. If any of you, and I don't expect you to, but I can't be the only fool in this world that wants these things. If any of you want to buy that thing, go in through my link, please. I'd appreciate it. It's down there with the cameras. And it does qualify as stuff I use. So there's no cheating there. But that'd be great. I could probably actually pick up a $20 bill if somebody bought one of those things from my Amazon account. That would really be something. Now, I can only figure out how to get 1,000 people to buy those cell phones through my Amazon account. I'd have a pretty good month. Just saying. The good news is I don't really need all that much money. Anyway, I've given up on empire building. trying to build myself that retirement where I got the big mansion on the water with a yacht out back at the dock. That was my dream, but that dream is gone forever, and knowing how my life went, if I had that, I'd probably be tired of it now anyway, and it probably wouldn't mean anything like I thought it would. Yeah, Rick says, yeah, $22, that's cheap. Yeah, it is. It is. Rick, add a couple zeros, move the decimal point, and we're kind of in the ballpark. Let's see. I never know what they the stupid mouse did it again. Right. Was a battery going dead in it or something? Okay. I guess the battery might be going dead. I turn it back on, it reconnects, and move the mouse, and it stops. I click the button, and it doesn't work. Okay. Forget that mouse. Let's get this mouse over here. Okay. So we got, there we go. And links to stuff I use. Let me show this on the screen. There's the website. And let's go down to phones, cameras, and accessories I use. And there it is. And let's see what they're selling for today. Well, they're giving you, for $21.19, you get the phone and you get a $200 gift card, which is really like money. You got to spend it on Amazon, but who cares? Every one of us is going to spend $200 on Amazon, probably in the next day or two. So that's $2,000. So yeah, it is. They're selling for $2,000, and I ended up getting it for $1,700 with all the deals and the gift cards and everything else. So that's not a bad deal. $2,200, and that's for the 512 gig. That's the other one is cheaper. The one with 256 is cheaper, but I don't know if you'd want that or not. So hang in there with me 1 second. Now I'm using this mouse. I have to swap the mouse buttons around. Settings. Use the right button. Okay. All right. I was using it like I normally do. I was using it with my right hand, but my right hand would make it too cumbersome to use in the heat of battle like this is. Every time Rick says you have to go back to work. Well, I think for a lot of people, you really got to have a good reason to buy that. Any content creator on YouTube who does a lot of editing and filming could, and had a big enough channel where he made a little money, could probably justify it. I could justify it. Take me a month or two to pay for it, but that's okay. That's okay. But I still pay for them. I don't finance them. Cell phones. I don't buy them from a phone carrier and have to pay them every month and lock me into their contract for 3 years. I buy unlocked versions only. I can use them anywhere I want. I can take the SIM card out of one phone and put it in the next. And I never have a payment to make on the phone, except the first big payment. I do the same thing with credit cards. I never carry a credit card balance. I always pay them down to zero before the statements come out. As far as the credit bureaus are concerned, I haven't spent a cent in the last 10 years. Because when the credit card companies do not report to the credit bureaus until the statement goes out. My statements always come to me saying zero. You owe no payments. And if I can't afford to do that, I won't do it. I bought the cell phone on the Amazon credit card. I got 5 additional point discount because I used that credit card. Well, I added up to something. That was like $70. Okay. I put it on that credit card. That credit card is due on the 10th of every month. So on the 6th or 7th of the month, I will pay it off. That's when I'm going to actually pay for this phone. So far, I haven't spent any money on it. I used to get a card, no interest, no nothing. I paid it off. The credit bureau does not see that I'm starting to spend a lot of money and lower my credit score, and everybody wins. If you can, and the way I can afford to do that is I don't use the credit cards unless I know I can pay for them. I treat the credit cards as if, do I have the cash? And the answer is yes, I'll use it. But they get these rewards. Amazon gives 5% off of everything you buy on Amazon. It adds up. It adds up. I already got the reward points. I haven't used them yet. I've already got the reward points for the cell phone purchase. I haven't even paid for it yet. It's on the credit card. They're expecting me, like most people, to just carry it, pay the minimum monthly payment, and be into them for the rest of the person's life. Like the song 16 Tons. Owing your soul to the company store. Yeah, CB says, I'm still paying on my Galaxy 24 also. Yeah, you have to, when you get them from the carrier, you really don't pay all that extra money in the end, but it does lock you into the carrier. And if you want to upgrade it like every year like I do, you're stuck. There's no way to do it. It costs you a lot of money. So I just keep all the old cell phones. I did trade my S24 in on the 25, though, because I already have an S22, which is just as good as any of them, that I use for all kinds of things. I use it as another camera a lot of times. It's a backup cell phone. I can use it in my house, hooked to Wi-Fi without a SIM card in it. So I have uses for these things. I find uses for them. It's old enough where it's not worth a whole lot now. FX Trader, yes, sir. You're not the only one drinking coffee. I had some thoughts about coffee this morning. I'm torn. I quit caffeine about 2 months ago. In looking back at the way I feel now and the way I felt, I was blaming a loss of energy or something during the day on when the caffeine wore off, and I was pretty convinced that I didn't notice it. And I think that might have been wishful thinking. Because this morning I'm standing there grabbing the decaf again, and I still have some caffeinated coffee, K-cups, sitting up there in a separate container, and I'm saying to myself, to be honest with myself, do you really notice a difference? And I have to think about it after 2 months. I don't. I still tire about the same time every day. That's just the fact that I had a stroke. I don't know if I felt better with the caffeine or not. But when you finally kick something, I didn't have headaches or anything, but I finally kicked it. Do you want to go back to it? So now I have to go back and see and start reevaluating all of those reports and all of those videos and all of these supposedly smart people that tell you that there's a benefit, health benefit to a moderate amount of caffeine, and try to decide whether they're full of it or they know what, or they know they know what they're talking about. But for the time being, I'm going to stick with the decaf. Here's a question without a QQQ, but I happen to notice it. Is it Sam Sapphire, Private Eye? Good morning, Mitch. With carnivore, is it okay to brush your teeth less? I hope it's not gross, and I still brush my teeth after my meals, but I brush my teeth once a day. I use a floss pick to get the food out from between my teeth after every meal. But as far as brushing goes, I brush at night. I use a Sonicare. Goes for 2 minutes. And then after the Sonicare, I use a water pick to make sure that I've cleaned every little bit of anything that happens to be stuck down in there. And it works fine. It works fine. My gums are great. Never any gum bleeding. As far as my teeth being white and shiny, or plaque, I'm going to get it no matter how often I brush. And carnivore, especially if you're oxalate dumping, because, oh God, the stuff that'll build up around your teeth, and you can pick it out with your own metal hook, or you can go to a hygienist and have it cleaned. But this brushing after every meal stuff, I used to do that, and I think all it did was wear the enamel off my teeth. So you got to be, there's a happy medium there too. You can only wax your car so many times before you wax yourself right through the paint. You know what I mean? And our tooth enamel is like that. And I spend so much time cleaning my teeth, looking for that bright smile, that I completely trashed the enamel on my lower front teeth. And now, about the first 16th inch of tooth that comes out of my gum is actually bone. I'm not going to show it to you because it's not pretty. It's just stained. So I go every 4 months to the dentist, and they clean it as best they can. And the dentist has proposed that they could use the same material that they use as a filling these days and make crowns out of, and actually onlay on my 4 front teeth, right down at the gum line, can onlay some of that, and then I'd have a nice, not bright white smile. Most old people, your teeth yellow. I'm sorry, your teeth yellow when you get old. Nothing you can do about it, except have them all yanked out and get false teeth. Then you can look like a Cheshire cat. You see somebody over 70 years old that smiles with a perfect face full of perfect porcelain-looking teeth, they're not his teeth. To me, appearance isn't important enough for me to give up my own teeth just so somebody else can say, wow, nice teeth. No, stupid. How we doing? We still, yeah, I'm half hour behind now. I did it. I managed to do it. All right, got to run through this. Look for questions. Okay, Peter, I answered that. I think in the course of my conversation, I answered that. I use my right hand on the mouse when I'm not in a battle situation and have to be quick. When I can take time and be deliberate with it, yeah, I use it every time I can, but I can't use it during a live stream. I can't. I never get this done. I need much better control. I need to be able to start and stop scrolling. I need to be able to jump from here to there and everywhere quickly and accurately. And that's not up to that yet, but it's coming. It's coming along. Same thing with piano playing. Nowhere near where it used to be. FX Trader is protein new health scam. You could call it that. You could call it that because you got it. There's so many other factors involved. You're putting it in junk food. Junk food with protein is just as bad for you as junk food without protein, and it'll be just as addictive. It's plant protein or some less desirable kind of protein, which is why bother? Why bother? All the essential amino acids, or most of them, is missing from these plant proteins. You're going to have to supplement the hell out of them anyway. Ricky, $2, thank you so much. I only take K2D3 2 times a week now. Ricky, I stopped that after my stroke because I take the aspirin to thin my blood just a little bit, and everybody's, I don't know, how do you know if anything you hear is true? But the conventional wisdom about K2 is it helps coagulate, helps clotting. Well, that's the last thing I want to do. And taking D3 without the K2, I've heard so many horror stories about that. So my D3 was okay. It was where I was happy with it. And I'll wait till next year. These are things that don't need to be and can't be considered on a daily basis. And I get my blood work done once a year as part of my VA physical, which is probably the only reason that I even get a physical from the VA. Not for their brilliant advice, but, you know, kind of an annual inspection on the machinery. And I get all the results of the blood tests and everything, and I evaluate them myself. The best way to navigate through this healthcare system that we have is to avoid it completely. I think Rick does that. All right, let's see here. Let's get through this. More questions. Wow. Here's one with 27 Qs. Sam, I mentioned crew. Have you all ever tried? How much roll butter. No Kerrygold is the gold standard, but I was curious if it's good because I heard mixture. No, haven't tried it. Don't want to try it. Never. I'm not always looking for the next big thing, the next magic pill, the next magic cure. I live by the adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So no, I never even heard of it and don't want to know. That doesn't mean it's not any good or it isn't any better. I just have to feign ignorance on that one. And that's okay because it lets me talk about my opinion of some of this stuff. Tanya's here. I didn't say hi to you today. Hi, Tanya. Oh, where the heck is Butter Woman? Who's Butter Woman? I guess I'm not immersing myself enough in the chat here. Tanya overslept. Always good to see you, Tanya. Thanks for coming in. Aunt B is here. I didn't say hi to you today yet either. How are you doing? I'm slowing down again. Lois has no idea how to use Android. Well, I have no idea how to use iOS, so that just goes to show you. Stick with what you know. But I'm not one of these people that wants everybody to be Android. I don't care what they do. I can do what they want. Just don't tell me what you want me to do. I don't want to hear it. It's not your place to want me to do anything, nor is it my place to want you. But yet people always try to sell everybody else what they have. Does that reinforce their own buying decisions? I don't know what it is, but it's common. Sometimes those differences incite violence in people. Crazy. The world isn't crazy. The world was just fine before we came along. Dan Glasso's here. Hiya, Dan. How are you? See you this morning. And catching up. Gary says something. Yeah, I love this. You got to spend money to save money. It hasn't worked out well for me. It hasn't worked out well for anybody. When I buy something on sale, I don't consider how much money I saved. I consider it, well, that's the fair price. If they could get more for it, they would. People only put things on sale because they want to move a lot of them. They want to give people a reason to buy now and get off their butts. But you're not saving money. You're spending money. My ex-wife never got that. She'd come back from a day of shopping after buying $2,000 worth of shoes that were half off. So she spent $1,000, and she came home bragging to me that she saved me $1,000 today. To which I went back in my mind and to my father and what he always used to say. So I always used to say it to her, and she would look puzzled. I would say, "You saved $1,000 today?" She said, "Yeah, I did." "What are you going to do with the money you saved?" Think about that. What are you going to do? And she doesn't have the money. It's not a tangible thing. She just spent less. She didn't save a thing. See, to my father and his generation, saving money meant putting it away, and so you still have it. You don't put away money that you saved but getting a discount. And everything out there is priced at the right balance of inciting people to buy it and the profit that the manufacturer needs. Or it's just a marketing gimmick. Every jewelry store in the free world always has a 50% off sale. Half the furniture stores, always 50% off. Every health spa out there has a special, half price, and has a sign out front that says final days. Yet those final days have lasted for 40 years. So don't fall for that stuff. And I fall for it too sometimes. We all do. But it's so obvious, and you see it everywhere, and everybody does it. Peter says his dad was a doctor. Yes, Peter, I had a bag phone. I had a bag phone. I had a car phone in my car. Nobody had them back then. In the entire Tampa Bay area, including St. Pete and Tampa, there were 300 people with car phones, period. That was it. You had a car phone, you're one of 300. I had to have some serious connections back then just to get one. I had one, and it had a big-ass box in the trunk, this big, and an antenna on the trunk of the car. And it had a head that sat down between the seats. It had a rotary dial on it and 4 buttons. There were 4 channels available, and everybody who had a car phone had to share those 4 channels. Now, that was important. That was important. I got a funny joke about that. I'll tell you sometime, but not today. We're running late. Remind me. Tell you the car phone joke. Gina Cap said, do you have to get a new phone number each time you get it? No, because the phone number is on the SIM card. The phone without a SIM card doesn't have a phone number. It's just like a little computer now. It runs on your Wi-Fi. You can run all the apps, but it can't make calls or texts or receive calls or texts because you take the SIM card out of it, you put it in your new phone. All of a sudden, your new phone is your new phone. And it's got the same number that's on the SIM card. So you could swap them every day. You could swap it. You could use a different cell phone every day if you want to. All you have to do is take the SIM card out of it. That's a little extreme. But no, don't have to get a new number. Your number is yours. It belongs to you. You can take it. If you have a number in AT&T, with AT&T, and you decide to go to Verizon, AT&T must relinquish that number to Verizon and allow it to be switched over. You own, just like you own your medical records. I don't care who's got, custody of them. They're yours. Somebody says you can't see your medical records. Go after them. They're your medical records. When you get a phone number, it's your phone number. Nobody else can use it. Unless you relinquish it. But that's stupid. I once got a phone number that the person that had it before me, owed everybody in the free world money. I turned the phone on, and I started with a barrage of phone calls from collection agencies. I walked right back into the AT&T and said, give me another phone number, please. This one is trashed. Ellen, I knew there was a reason I was crazy about you, sweetie. Ellen says, I believe there is a health benefit to coffee. Yes, there's just so many opinions on it, and there may be. And now that you've said that, I may just start drinking caffeinated coffee again and cut out this decaffeinated crap, because maybe caffeinated coffee is healthier than what they got to do to decaffeinate it. You never know. There's always so many things to consider. Geese has a nice phone. Thank you much. I'm enjoying it. In fact, if I've responded to your comments on any of my videos lately, it has been from this phone. And Peter agrees with Ellen. All right. Well, there's no better place for you guys to be in the morning other than morning coffee with Mitch. So we're getting into a big cell phone discussion here. Jackie says, I don't think I'm sensitive to caffeine. I wake up at 3 a.m., I have a cup of coffee, and I'm all back to sleep. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if it's an old age thing or what it is, but the days of me, you just need less sleep when you're older. The days of me sleeping 7 hours straight through, it just doesn't happen. I wake up once or twice a night. Not necessarily to go to the bathroom, I just wake up. My brain is ready to wake up. I start thinking about things. I have a dream about something. Well, whatever it is, I look at the clock, I groan, and it's, oh shit. And I roll over and go back to sleep. I always go back to sleep immediately. But Be nice to sleep all the way straight through, but I don't know what wakes me up. Maybe a noise somewhere outside, maybe something loud on the highway that goes by in front of our community. Don't know. Don't know. All right. Gotta get through it. Gotta get through it. There's Ricky's little super chat. Thank you so much, Ricky. I really appreciate those. And BJS checked in, and Dr. Murray says, finish your vitamins and don't refill. I agree with Ken Berry on that. I agree with you better have a very specific reason to take vitamins, and D is one of the most easy to explain because we don't get as much sun as we should. We don't run around half naked like our ancestor hunters did in the sun for hours on end. Now, Ricky's doing what I'm doing. He said he was taking aspirin for a month after my ambulance ride to the hospital. Chest pain that lingered for about 6 months with dizziness. Maybe the K2D3 no good. It's possible. If you're taking the aspirin to thin out your blood, maybe you need to reconsider that. At any rate, try to go out in the sun. I need to do that more often, and I haven't. I need to actually get out a chair, a chaise chair, a lounge chair, like a pool chair, put it out in my backyard, take off my shirt, and go out there and lay down for a half an hour in the sunlight, and let it hit my skin. I get sunlight now. I got like a solar panel on my head. That's about it. Bald head, where I absorb most of the sunlight when I go outside. How much do I really get? We're all trying to figure this out. We're all trying, just making our way through it, trying to figure out what makes sense, what to believe, what not to believe. But we're gathering evidence, and we're seeing results, and that's the only way to know, even have a clue whether it's right or not. Tanya, thank you so much. Love you too, sweetie. Thank you so much. And I love it when you agree with me. Kathy thinks that my advice is stop taking any compound with K2 is correct. I think especially it's scary to think if you're trying real hard and taking aspirin every day, even if it's a small dose, as an anticoagulant, to take anything that's billed as a coagulant would be stupid. Tuka, in his wisdom, says the only cure is real food. That, my friend, is a given. And more people actually need to accept that as fact. Real food. That's all we had before we got smart. Because if we were this smart 100,000 years ago and had the technology we have today, we wouldn't be here today. We'd be long gone. Long gone. The only thing that we would have perfected is the way to basically destroy ourselves. Okay. Time to go. I got to go to lunch with the guys. Sam says, Mitch, don't you miss fiber? Ha ha. You kidding. First time in my life, my digestive tract actually works. No fiber. Do I miss feeling bloated, being gassy all the time, constipated? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and Sandy says it's 9:36. Get ready for lunch. Well, now it's 9:43. Okay. I got to go right down to the end. We got to end this. Sam's asking more questions. What has been your favorite decade? Don't have time to answer that now. My favorite decade is the decade I'm in because I make the best of it. If you're talking about when was society the best? Many, many, many years ago. But for me personally, I have to make the decade where I am the best decade of my life. That's all I can do. Or at least convince myself that it is. So, we're talking about shoes now. The last one, MP, is talking about shoes. And I think on that note, my friends, I will play a little happy music for you to say goodbye to your friends in the chat. There we go. And I will get ready to go have my lunch. Then I will come back. And we will get ready to have our live stream tonight. And then tomorrow, you're not going to see me. Well, I can say that now, but I can't promise. But you may not see me tomorrow because I may revel in a day off and try to actually get out and lay in the sun a little bit. Maybe go for a longer walk. Concentrate on more of my recovery and less of YouTube stuff. So, my friends, thanks for coming in this morning. Always good to see y'all. And Lori says goodbye, and we're still talking to each other. God, you never stop. You never stop. Say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. As a famous comedian once said, you go home now. You've been here for hours. Finding you were saying goodbye. Good to see you. Good to see you. Tuka says goodbye, and Ricky says goodbye, and Aaron says bye and waves to us. Smoothie says have a good one all. And here comes the end of the song. Wait for it. Manny Meadows, all kinds of hands waving. Sam Sapphire, turn out the light. The party is over. Yes, sir. Ricky waving as a American flag. Ricky's got a #1 shield next to his name. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, people. I just heard my cell phone go off. I don't see a coffee. Okay. If it was a coffee, I will thank you by replying to the coffee message. Because I always do. Always do. Have a nice day, everybody. I hope to see all of you and more here tonight. The later crowd, everything else. I think I want to have a good time tonight. I want to talk to a lot of people. We'll see. We'll see. I have no control over who shows up and who doesn't. So with that, take the rest of the day off and eat meat. I will.